Trigger warning. Right off the rip. Get triggered, like being triggered, or don't like being triggered. Not intentionally triggering you. I'm just referencing a book that I read. But these subjects, I don't know, something about being intuitive. Everybody think that you're talking about them and not actually understanding the message. Like, if it applies, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if it sticks, sit with it. Because at the end of the day, we all want to manifest, but the deeper reality is that we are already manifested in our true self. Now, merging with our true selves, or learning how to merge with our true selves, is why I'm here. But I find as though many people just get triggered by the things that I say, as opposed to just understanding that I am speaking to you, but I'm not speaking about you, because I don't know what you do, nor do I know what you think. But when I'm saying that I'm speaking to you, is because everybody's goal down here is to connect with their soul. However, connecting with your soul is a function. The most menial things that we need to do down here, if you had a job at Mickey D's, no disrespect, there'll be a set of rules that you must follow. Flip the burger when it get brown on one side. Flip it and then it get brown on the other side. Put it on the bun, add lettuce, tomatoes, and a secret sauce. All of those things make a Big Mac. But if you are, say for instance, a conscious person working at McDonald's, you would feel like you can make any burger that you want. But the reality of life and the reality of working at McDonald's, which is considered the most menial job, is that your actions impact another person. So if a McDonald's worker impacts another person, wouldn't a God reincarnated impact another person? So generally, it's not what you want. It is actually being taught. And so we put together a phenomenal instructional piece on how to connect with your soul. But nobody's talking about it, and that's okay. Because generally, brother, come on, fam. Thank you. Can you turn it down? Thanks. Like, so generally, we put together a course on how to connect with your soul, connect with your God. And don't nobody really give a fuck, because emotions are more prevalent in your overall workings. But understand, you couldn't bring your emotions into working at McDonald's. Does that make sense? Like, how you feel don't really matter if you got a job. How you feel in relations to building your soul and relating to your soul is not an emotional process. It's a instructional step-by-step process. And so that's just basically what I want to reference today as we talk about guilt and fear. Because don't nobody want to talk about the guilt and the fear, because let's explain what guilt is. Guilt is the way that you treat other people. However, you can't treat other people the way that you want to treat them, so it get inverted on your ass. And fear is the fact that you believe that you are not connected to a divine source, so you perpetuate a slew of attacks on your damn self to keep you isolated, stagnant, lethargic. You want to be with somebody because you tried it and it didn't work. Meaning that at your primal root, listen, everybody tried it and it didn't work, or they tried it and it worked. Period. So miss me with I don't need a man, I don't want a man, I don't need a girl, I don't want a girl. You just don't know what to fucking do when you get one, because you had one, but you didn't know what to do in that situation. Motherfuckers want money, but they get paid every fucking two weeks, or get paid every day with, you know what I mean? But they still want money. Make that make sense. Obviously, money is a function. It's not an emotional process of just wanting. It's people who got A1 credit. I know this to be a fact. People with A1 credit, thousands of dollars in the bank, and they still wishing to hit it rich. Meaning that the money that they have in the bank, they could invest it strategically and make money passively off the interest. Short-term and long-term interest. But if you think money is an emotional thing that somebody's going to give you, you're never even going to think about the function of investing and growing your money. Meaning that you could be a successful business owner and have poor money management, and who gives a fuck that you're a successful business owner? Because as soon as you make $100, you spend $150. So if you do that, if you make $100 consistently and you spend $150 consistency, every day you wake up, you're creating more debt for your life. But never wanting to deal with the function, and never wanting to deal with fear, never wanting to deal with guilt, you block your fucking chakras. And this is for every fucking body, because a lot of people want to absorb the sauce, right? Because they think that I'm talking about them when I'm talking to them, because there is no hierarchy in this shit. It's a perceived hierarchy based upon the things that I'm going to reference when we talk about guilt and fear. And this is the last level of the game, right? This is the final boss, right? Because you treat people away, right? But you think that you're not gonna feel it. You think that you're externalizing it, but you can't externalize feelings. You ever got hit by a kid and they thought they was really just rocking you to sleep, and you like, boy, my sons be like, they really be thinking they got a chance, and they be throwing them haymakers, and I'll be like, little boy, calm it down, fam. Like, you really, like, we gonna train you up, but right now you don't got the strength. But in their mind, I let them get their rocks off too. They be, that's what y'all niggas is like with y'all manifestation practices. Working real hard, but not really working on, we talking about the actual power to generate this, but y'all don't want to deal with the function of it, because y'all already got it, y'all already done it, you already know it. And let's bring this to the forefront. Oh, I already know you, hood, you my nigga. So I see what you doing, and belittle my shit, right? Low key, subtle undercut my shit. Nobody want to bring this shit to the forefront, because Chakra Nova will save your fucking life, but you got to deal with the function of it. That's why it's priced the way it is, because I can't guarantee shit. It's an instruction manual. The thing about instruction manuals, you ever got some shit from IKEA, right? And put that shit together, that shit be This is for my homies.
And 9 times out of 10 probably don't put shit together.
With the gangster lean, well. See you when I get there. That shit don't be together. That shit don't be right in his act. That shit don't be like it was when you seen it at the goddamn IKEA. When you get to your crib, put that shit together. Man, that shit is 50-50. We'll get 2 pieces. 1 piece, I'll fucking nail it. The second piece, especially like you got kids, like you get a drawer or some shit from IKEA. It's cool putting that shit together, but pulling that shit in and out over every fucking day, nigga, that shit's gonna fall apart.
Are they climbing on it?
Oh, the kids jumping off of it? So, the real shit about the root chakra, how long does it take to activate the root chakra? About 36 years. About 36 years to get your root chakra activated, right? Nigga, I don't care if you got $1,000. 36 years to get your root. I don't care if you got 10,000, 10 million. The price is irrelevant. Because we're talking about fear. You gotta really conceptualize some shit that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. That takes a while to wrap your mind around it just because you so invested in the physical shit. You so invested that you look a certain way or you don't look a certain way, that when we get into spiritual being having a human experience, and motherfuckers know since day one, since I jumped off the porch at 16, I've been pulling shit, and motherfuckers been confused as fuck about that shit. Like, how the fuck is you pulling all of these chicks? How is you in a car with 3 girls and my girlfriend named Angela Hood, and I'm trying to figure this shit out. I say it's not on me, it's in me. What I want, women want. I mean, what I am, women want, and they've always wanted it. And it's not a physical thing. It's never been physical. Ever, ever, ever been a physical thing. Okay? But even still, 36 years of physical life, physical investments, wanting to have the money, wanting to have the notoriety, wanting to have the status. You know, in this conscious shit, these niggas will talk. Listen, I talk about the same books. You hear me? I go over the same books over and over. I know them books from front to back. I got highlighted notes. I had a lot of books, and then I fucking deduced them to the books that I was gonna fucking read or I was gonna fucking need. And everything else, maybe it'll be in the collection, but generally, I read the same books, but I read them. But I don't read them, I take my notes when I read them. I try to understand and put my own little spin on it. Because what I'm referencing is being spiritually led. And the thing about being spiritually led, that shit is fucking amazing. And you gotta really sit and think about this thing. Because you might think that your life is completely physical. If you new to this shit, if you old to this shit, the reality is that you're not completely physical. No matter how deep you are, no matter how accomplished you are, no matter how ratchet you are, you could have just came off of a porn set and would have been more deep than a motherfucker that came off of meditation for 10 hours. Did 10 readings, read motherfuckers like Ayana Van Zant mixed with Miss Cleo, right? With a whole bunch of fucking Aliques, a whole bunch of fucking cowrie shells, and I'll take the girl walking out the strip club for 10,000, Alex. Cause that shit don't mean nothing. That shit is glamour. That shit is getting you fucked up. Cause you think that that's going to get you to the promised land, but the reality is what's going to get you to the promised land is your realization and is your intuition that you are a God. But within that God realization, you ultimately come to the conclusion that I am not simply just a physical being. And if I'm not a physical being, what the fuck am I so fucking afraid of? Because when you're afraid, you bring about the energy of guilt. Because when you're afraid, you don't listen. When you're afraid and you're in close, intimate relationships, familiar relationships, business relationships, you're not giving that person your best self. You're not making your best product. You're not doing your best business, even if you feel like you're at the top of your game. Because the thing about being afraid is that it blocks you from full realization. You think that you're doing the best that you can do, but when you let go of your fear, you're gonna do 1,000,000 times better than what you imagine of what you think that you can do. Even if you're the CEO of the #1 company of the world, if you let go of your fear, you'll own a fucking country next year. It can only get better when you let go of your fear. Your fear is not helping you. It's creating more guilt. But since people think that I'm talking about you, I'll talk about you now. The guilt, even if you give ashe to your ancestors, we got to deal with the true guilt of wanting to be great, wanting to have physical things, because you will be spiritual and get a lot of physical things. The thing about me, I don't have a lot on purpose, because I'm really spiritual. I'm not here to brag. I keep myself at a particular level, not because I value what you think, but because I'm being true to myself. When you incorporate your spirituality for financial gain and it works, you may get everything you desire. A Phantom, a Lexus, a Bentley, a Rover, a house, a vacation, a timeshare, so you can go all over the country and act like you really balling when you really just got a timeshare. Oh, we know the hustles. We a part of the hustle. We could do all of this shit that y'all do. Am I lying? We could do all of that. We know the schemes and the scams, the flims and the flams, the travel agencies to get paid to travel and all of that. We might do that. But let's deal with it. When you get that shit don't talk back to you. Do that make sense? That shit don't give you a hug at night. Say, oh girl, toss your salad. Nothing that you buy is going to bring out the whipped cream and the cherries. So we need to be clear about what we are manifesting. I'm talking about to my young people here looking for guidance. You might get some shit out here in these streets. I ain't saying that you're not. And it might be cool. But the difference between me and everybody else, I don't need shit but the love that I get from my wife. And that's all I've ever said from day one. You can YouTube. I got a YouTube history You always heard the little chuckles in the background, fam. Since the beginning, the same chuckles in the background, fam, asking the questions. So, I don't give a fuck about what I said. I'm more or less intrigued by what I done. You get me? Because that's what I did in the spiritual community. I said, I'm going to be a husband first, second, third, fourth, fifth, second, third, blah, 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 non-stop. Baby daddy. Because that was my escape from fear. That was my truth. That's what I was bringing forth to the table. That I hear what these conscious niggas is saying. You can get the money, fam. We need the money. The money is good, I guess. But I would rather get into knowing how to manage my money for real, for real. At the end of the day, that's where my mind is at. You can give me any amount of money. If I can't manage that shit, I don't even want it. My account is my account. I stand on that shit. I built that shit from nothing. So it is what it is. It's my account. If it get larger, it's because I managed it that way. It ain't because a nigga gave me shit. I like that better than keeping my fucking fingers crossed, waiting for a nigga to come knock on my door and say, here go a big ass check, Mr. Mystic. Right? But different strokes, different folks. It all works out in the good. And once again, it's not going to be a long, drawn out video. I just want you to know that to activate your chakras, to get into the function of it, it's going to be many Chakra Nova podcasts. It's going to be many lives that I get on here and I'll talk nothing about the function of the chakras. I got so many different conversations that I just don't have because the conversation is just so vast and I'm working on a book at the same time. However, the keys, one of the main functions, if you wanted to simplify it, was not to take pride in personal accomplishments. Because personal accomplishments mean nothing when you're not connected to your soul. Because you could have done the same thing that a motherfucker done who didn't give a fuck about an ashe, didn't give a fuck about an ancestor. How did that work? You doing all of this ashe to be regular? But once again, we don't deal with the chakras like, oh, this chakra ain't working right now. No, whenever I deal with the chakras, I start from the root and work my way up. Because to actually activate a root chakra takes close to 36 to 40, maybe even 50 years. And generally, it's not happening. Because when you reference our moms and dads, they scared shitless. Perpetual fear. They've been paying bills so long. They've been paying bills our whole lives. Right? Rich or poor. Just trying to make it. And the story is sad. Because the reality about our moms and dads is that they did everything right. They didn't fuck up. They got the money, they got the credit, they got the knowledge, they went to school. They didn't, if they was on drugs, they got off of drugs, they got their life together, right? But they still afraid. Because to activate your chakras goes beyond the fact of their religion. Their religion is instilling the fear. Fear is normalized in our society. Do y'all know that? Guilt is normalized in our society because since we can't blame nobody, for being disobedient to your soul. You ever be disobedient to your mom? She smacked the hell out of you. You come to realize it when you got kids and you in public, and I promise you, with my children, I gotta be patient. Because my children, they not, y'all know how I talk, right? My children ain't yes sir, no sir. And for me to do that, I would have to not be who I am as a soul. So, as opposed to responding angrily or with rage, I simply just learn to be patient. I take a deep breath. I restate what I was saying. And once again, I don't deal with guilt, because a person could view me as a bad father because my son might talk back, ladies and gentlemen. The hood mystic son talks back every fucking day, multiple times a day. Try different various approaches, but I realized that I'm a parent. So if my child talked back, guess what I did as a child, ladies and gentlemen? Talk the fuck back, Jack. I was y'all hear how I talk? I ain't even gonna say it, like, it's not a point, like, not like, I wasn't smarter than my mom. I thought I was smarter than my mom, right? So since I thought I was smarter than my mom, I acted that way. And so I got corrected plenty of times. But I gotta stop that cycle at a certain point, right? I gotta realize that I can't just instill fear constantly in my child, because he's gonna do the same shit that I would do. He thinking the same. He calling me on my shit all day, y'all. All day. Dad, this, that. The shit that you saying ain't right and exact, Dad. You low-key full of shit sometimes, Pops. You ain't supposed to say that about your dad, son. Be quiet. You can't be calling me on my shit, son. It ain't like you around me all the time every day and get to see me and I don't get to see myself. Maybe I should listen to you. I might be a better person. Because you actually can see and you smart. So I just learned to be a little bit patient with like today, I'm trying to move and maneuver at every turn, testing me, pulling me. I know we ripping and running. You ain't ate like you supposed to ate today. I understand that. So it's only natural. But if I snap or react, I'm creating fear. So when he a grown-ass man and he got to stand up for himself or speak up for himself, he might not. Because I told him that it was wrong to speak up for himself, or it's wrong for him to say the truth. And I'm being open and vulnerable because I know it's happening 10 times worth in other homes, so I don't give a fuck. I'm perceptive of this shit. I'm observant of it because I don't give a fuck how you feel about me. Because what you feel about me is a result of your guilt, and it's going to be inverted on you. I'm sharing. I'm in the field. I'm in the streets. I'm with the people. I'm giving people knowledge. I'm giving people gnosis. I'm giving you information that you would never hear no fucking where else. So I know who the fuck I am. I don't gotta worry about numbers and stats. I hear exactly what the fuck I'm saying. I know that I'm fucking lucid as I've ever been. Because I've done the function of the chakra work. I've activated my fucking psychic powers. If you mean ill to me, I'm going to perceive it. And I'm going to pull you out of the mire or pull you out of your quicksand because you didn't know that you couldn't harm me with your negative thoughts. You could only harm yourself. And the more that you put energy towards it, you're worsening your situation. the best thing, the thing that my enemies do in this lifetime, they become my friends. They become my supporters. Because they're tired of fucking acting as if their thoughts live in their head. No, their thoughts are reverberating in their being. Because you take the info, you take the sauce, you take the recipe, right? Make your own. So if you have a bomb ass sauce, anybody can be like, oh, let me take that bomb ass sauce. It's easy to make something better off of an original idea. You don't think this shit happen? Google Quentin Miller and Drake. Everybody is using somebody. Everybody is copying off of somebody. Because what you referencing is a frequency, a vibration, and a wave. I'm just that base, bottom level frequency. And I emit these energies and frequencies so you to take and you make it better. That's how it goes. But you will give me my respect, though. You will give me what is owed to me, though. And I ain't gonna say nothing. Just know that you can't do shit in the astral realm. If a nickel bag gets sold in the park, I want in on it, B. I'm not like this for play. I'm like this for real. And I don't take pride in nothing but the fact that I've connected to the non-physical realms. I'm talking about psychic powers and shit like that. All that other shit, beginner basic shit, you wasting your time because you ain't no beginner. Once you was born a master. It's just that ain't nobody gonna tell you and ain't nobody gonna talk about it. So that's why we here. We here to talk about it and bring it to the future. You know? Your power is activating your chakras from the root chakra, understanding what it is, connecting it to your body, and building it up. What you are doing is not dealing with your power. You're looking at the external world. You're trying to get something that's not even going to lick you on your fucking ass when you're horny at night. Understand that that's some crazy ass shit. Understand that you didn't need to be woke to find love. You could have been your best, exuberant, happy, loving, activated, psychic, magnetic self. I'm saying that when you activate your chakras, you don't have to look for a guy. You magnetize a man in your life. You don't look for a woman. You magnetize a woman in your life. This is not a cap. This is not a boast. But I can get any woman that I want. Hence, I said I want. That's not a cap or a boast. That's just my magnetism. And it's something that, a function that I've worked on by mastering my sacral chakra. But see, what I want is what I have, believe it or not. I got the woman I want. I'm not acting like my magnetism is, I'm not saying, oh, I could get any woman I want. No, I done it. Done made kids with her. Made her an honest woman out here in these streets. I magnetized the... I ain't about to get into all of the shit that I magnetized, because now we'll be talking for a whole nother fucking 5 hours. But what I magnetize, I also give away. So I'm giving crucial keys to elevating your spiritual journey. I'm giving you the instruction manual. If you can think you can do it on your own without the instruction manual, you can DM me for any suggestions or any solutions along your journey. But if you want to get into your spiritual pathway and you're doing all of this weird shit that you don't even know why you're doing it because somebody's telling you to do it, but you don't vibrate with it, it's time to find that middle path. What is the middle path? You. Seeing how powerful you are at a psychic level, and that is in tuning your whole entire body. Listen, you're doing all types of amazing shit right now. You waking up to go piss in the morning, you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you're driving cars, you're going to meetings, you're on Zoom. All of this is fucking amazing. I say all of this to say, if you can't look at all of the functions that you do and be so completely fucking astounded by the functions that you are producing and have produced, then you would never fully understand what I'm saying when I say that you are fucking amazing. But you looking at trying to get something physical that don't even talk back to you and say, how was your day today? Alexa don't give a fuck about you. Siri don't give a fuck about you. That ain't your friend. Your Spotify shuffle don't vibe with you. Your Netflix don't be giving you no good recommendations. Your Amazon Prime don't give you good recommendations. You need an actual living being that's going to nurture, care, and provide for you. But you don't need to look for it. You need to activate your fucking third eye and have that nigga come to you and knock on your door. If that's what it is about. But you gotta be pure about this shit. And it's not gonna happen overnight. Cause if you rush to make your IKEA furniture, if you try to rush and make your IKEA furniture, what's going to happen? It's not going to last long. But if you take your time, know that this is some cheap ass shit. You know the body is fragile. You ever stubbed your toe? You ain't even hit your toe hard. That shit, you damn feel like you damn paralyzed. Got to sit down for a couple moments. Right? Body real fragile. But I tell you what, you can experience pain. And then you can activate your chakras and you could go days upon days of just feeling normal with no pain, no issues, no troubles, no worries, not being inundated by a whole bunch of shit, problems and resources and tangible things that don't even give you the proper salad tossing. But it's there though. And motherfuckers say you got the clout. Well, when you see a person like me, you gonna hate my ass. You gonna hate my ass if you gotta wake up and deal with a whole bunch of rigmarole. You gotta talk to people all damn day. Listen, my readings is $500. Not because I want you to book a reading. I want you to connect with your fucking soul. I want a person to get a reading that money is not his fucking issue. We can shoot this shit and talk about some real shit, and I will deal with my spiritual energy for $500 fucking dollars. Other than that, y'all know I got work to do. I got fucking 4 fucking kids. Y'all think I'm a fucking nickel and dime with y'all out here in these streets? I'm not saying book a reading with me. I'm saying you don't need to book a reading with me no more. I'm saying you can actually deal with your soul in such a way that you can get all of the answers from yourself. And I'm not saying I do readings. I give readings for $25. If you book a recording, I'll give you a reading for $25. I'd rather do the 25s. I'll talk that shit. I'll be doing the 25. I might talk to a nigga for 30 minutes. It's all these 10. I'm just going in. Right? But it's a recording. Ain't no energy exchange. It's just me giving you what I got. Have a good day. But it's good though. Don't get me wrong. It's just that for me to sit down and talk with a person, it takes a lot out of me, family. That I realize that I don't got nothing to prove to people and folk no more. That's a different vibration. That's a different frequency. And I'm not guilty for my gifts. When you're not guilty for your gifts, You stop giving your gifts away freely because you think you owe somebody, because you're trying to impress somebody. You begin to give your gifts to yourself, and it feels good to be loved by me. I never experienced that because I was too afraid for y'all to say, fuck you, Kyrie. Fuck you, Hood Mystic. I don't like your YouTube channel no more. So I overgave and overshared, right? Now I'm in a place that y'all can cancel me tomorrow. I ain't living off of a person liking me or hating me. I love me. I know what it feels like to love me because I'm not in that fear place. When you in that fear place, you just want to be seen. But once you, that's not the key. Because if you never get it, you might feel like, well, he just hating. No, I'm talking to the persons and the people who got it. Once you got it, you like, I don't even got shit. I don't got nothing. I don't have anything. Because what I really want, I can't. I can only deal with my personal power and magnetize it. And that's a different level of the game. And generally, people don't want to get into the functions or the knowledge of chakras. So give that man his flowers, Prime Harmonic. Give that man his flowers, Sacred Serpent. Give them brothers love. Because they walked all of us through a step-by-step process. And it's cool, but niggas wasn't paying attention. Niggas didn't understand the right and exactness of it because we think that we know what we don't know. But I'm telling you, it's impossible to know what you don't know. I'm really a mystic. Y'all don't even know what a mystic is. I'm an intuitive, spiritually led person. And I had to fight with that. Because I tried to do the mundane and the mundane never worked for me. I got fired for so many jobs. I couldn't get it right. And I tried, y'all. But they didn't never give me a shot in that world. And then I became intuitive. And then I got blessing after blessing. I got breakthrough after breakthrough. I had relationship after relationship. Nothing but great things happened to me once I let the mundane world go. And I accepted this spiritual mission. And I deal with many spiritual entities. And they use me as a channel because they know I have an audience and they know that I'm not going to fuck up the channel. I'm going to give it to you straight like I get it. Because I don't give a fuck how you feel. It's just a function that I'm trying to bring about. I'm not trying to bring emotional feeling. I don't want you to feel a certain type of way about me. I want you to understand the function that I'm bringing forth so you can eliminate your guilt. Because that's an inverted feeling of how you treat people negatively, right? Activate your power through activating your kundalini, through your chakras, your spiritual energy, up the center of your spine. And once that's accomplished, you're going to have full psychic powers and you'll be able to magnetize any and everything that you desire. So I know it's late and I'm going to end this video, but I hope that this message was clear and lucid and you're able to move forward a little bit more enlightened than you were previously. And if I was able to do that, then I'll be satisfied in that. Thank y'all for your time. Peace.